we are entering a very critical phase in the life of the 12th Parliament. This is a time that we have a very short time remaining for the term of this Parliament and then your government to end. There's need for us to give you total support.
Those of the faith have something called fellowship. And I think even as politicians, to have fellowship is very important. And this is really, for me, a very important occasion. And it should continue. We have a very, very unique situation. We have really never had it in this country, where really both sides of the House are pursuing a common agenda. It never really has happened.
All I can say is that let's make it more frequent. Let's have opportunities like this happen more frequently, because people are desirous of meeting you. That has been communicated to us in the leadership. They just want to meet their president.
We had midterm reorganization of committees. This is the first time it happened on a massive scale. And you did request at that point that you need to meet the new members. And perhaps, much as we said there's no introductions, it will be good to see all those who came within June to stand up, because the others you had met in 2018. So you can see the new members in both the Senate and the National Assembly. Anyone who came in June at the reorganization.
For about 3 months, we were famous for adjournments on the formula issue. It took your intervention, Your Excellency, to bring that stalemate to an end. I really want to thank you, because that is going to benefit the entire country. And just assure you that we'll continue supporting you, and let us continue moving together as one team for the prosperity of this country. Myself and my colleague, Justin Muturi, Your Excellency, have designed a way of working together and sorting out issues that have been outstanding, so that we are able to propel your agenda fast. And on behalf of Senate, I want to assure you that we will go out of our way to push your agenda to fast-track anything that needs to be fast-tracked in the Senate, so that we are able to move in one direction.
Since the executive is not in the House, there is really need for constant engagement. And I do recall sometime, I think in the last Parliament, you had indicated and directed that every ministry should have a liaison officer exclusively dedicated to dealing with matters of Parliament. Because members will come with all manner of good ideas. And since we are a legislature, when the ideas come, and we have our own legislative drafting department, we may not always, the Attorney General's office, which used to drive that agenda previously, may not necessarily know. But we always send out bills, even when they are private members' bills, to the executive, to the relevant government ministries and agencies. Will as many as what opinion say aye? Aye. Those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Let us be able to build a level of trust, yeah, and confidence that a Kenyan citizen can know, yes, I may have a favored candidate. But regardless of whether my favored candidate wins, I will be very happy. But even if he loses, yeah, my life will continue, and that person who has won will never be able to take me back, will never be able to interfere with my life, will never be able to interfere with my development, will never be able to interfere with my ability to access good schools for my children, will never be able to interfere with my businesses, will never be able to interfere with my shamba, will never be able to do all of these things. So, my preferred candidate may have lost, but I am willing to wait for another 5 years to give my preferred candidate another chance. Yeah? You see? I believe that's the Kenya we all want to live in, my friends. Yeah? You know? Where there is no marginalization, where everybody feels it's okay. Yeah? We are fine. Yeah? What makes this session even better for me is because I believe this is the first true session of the leadership of Parliament that is truly reflective of the way in which we want our country to go. We are not sitting here as Jubilee, as ODM, as Ford Kenya, as KANU, as Wiper, as ANC. We're actually sitting here as the leadership of Kenya, discussing matters pertaining to the well-being of our people and to the future of our nation. And that is something that gives me immense pleasure and delight, because I really believe that through this I'm beginning to see those new beginnings of the kind of Kenya that we want to see. We have been able to get to a level of trust and confidence that we can have a division of labor. Mwingine yako huko na mwingine yako huko, and everybody confident that we are talking the same language and we are moving in the same way. So that is another thing that I must say brings great joy. As much as there are some of these bills that are out there, it should not just necessarily be relegated to a discussion between the executive and the chair and his vice chair and his committee, because ultimately that bill has to come to the House. So I think there is also need of how we ensure that all these bills do not only involve debate and discussion between the cabinet secretary and his committee, but also involves the larger leadership, so that the larger leadership also understands it, you know, from beginning to end, so that by the time it's coming to the floor of the House, people are clear. People know why was this done, why was that done, why was this not done, why this was not done. So it minimizes debate and it brings everybody on board.